But first up right now, live at 11 o'clock from the WHAS11 night team. Take a good look. We've got a pretty clear night tonight. We are showing you the Big Four Bridge. Tonight, the colors honoring National Nurses Week until May 12th. There, the Big Four Bridge right over the mighty Ohio River as we're looking outside. A pretty dry evening tonight, a day when scattered thunderstorms drop some heavy rain across Kentuckiana. Hi, everybody, and thanks for joining us here at 11. I'm Doug Prophet. We're thrilled to welcome back our Chief Meteorologist, Mallory Schnell, on the night team tonight. So, Mallory, I see on our Max HD radar, you still have some of those storms scooting around.
Yeah, that's right, Doug. Just a few that are trying to linger through the early overnight hours. Now, Louisville, we've gotten a break in the rain since about 5 o'clock this evening, but elsewhere you can see a few of those isolated showers and thunderstorms still ongoing, primarily around E-Town and Hodgenville. Can't rule out a little bit of small hail. There's no severe warnings on these, but they could pack a punch very briefly with some pockets of heavy rainfall as this cold front slices through the region tonight and an area of low pressure rotates through as well. You can tell here the estimated rainfall from today. Not everybody saw rain. The showers and thunderstorms that we had were scattered in nature, but a few of them did pack a punch with hail and also some gusty winds at times. Our almanac temperature-wise, we started off on a mild note this morning. 61 degrees in Louisville, topped out pretty much right near average at 75. Today's record high, 91 degrees. Hourly planner for the rest of tonight, clouds will gradually decrease with conditions drying out for all of us. We'll start off tomorrow in the upper 40s and lower 50s. Plentiful sunshine returns for your Friday with high temperatures pretty comfortable, topping out right around that 70-degree mark. We'll talk much more about our weekend forecast, our Mother's Day forecast, that 7-day outlook. That's coming up in just a bit.
And here we go with the white smoke billowing from the chimney of the Sistine Chapel earlier this afternoon, our time. A new pope is chosen. Robert Francis Prevost of Chicago takes the name Pope Leo XIV and vaults into history as the first pope from the United States. The Chicago-born missionary spent his career ministering in Peru before taking over the Vatican's powerful office of bishops. Well, right now, as you can see behind me live, we are showing you the Vatican. Empty streets in Rome right now, where it's just after 5 in the morning. In Louisville's Catholic churches tonight, though, worshipers focused on Leo XIV's message of peace and dialogue. WHS 11 Night Team's Jose Alonso and photojournalist Emma Gefter found the services also met that uplifting message.
One of the first masses held in Louisville since the historic announcement. Being held at St. Francis of Assisi in the Highlands.
It's just such a joyful day for our beautiful Catholic Church and my faith.
Inside this church, Michelle Jackson immediately came to these pews to pray after witnessing history.
I was actually over at St. Albert the Great, and they brought the entire school into the gym to witness everything. They brought a TV in there, and all, 700 plus children came in to watch the announcement.
It's a moment Catholics across the world have been waiting for, the embrace of the new Pope, Leo XIV. Back in the Derby City, the bells ringing at Holy Trinity in St. Matthew's in celebration. Archbishop Shelton Fabre says he doesn't personally know him, but is excited for Americans.
A relatively young country, a relatively young faith, has now produced a gift for all Catholics in the world, Pope Leo XIV. So in that sense, it is very, very historic.
The election of a new pope who was born in Chicago. Semi-retired priest and WHAS 11's Moral Side of the News guest, Father Joe Graffis, gives his perspective.
He was a young priest in Chicago for a while as an Augustinian, but not much experience in the United States. How he and our current president will get along will be interesting, but I would think he would fall in the line of many of his predecessors in recent years.
Is this an indication the Cardinals knew who they wanted right away?
I do. I think that, it's a very, very quick conclave, but the last few have not been very, very long. But this one even shorter than the election of John Paul II. I do think it's an indication of union and unity among the cardinals.
Louisville Catholics are finally getting a sense of who their new leader of faith is and how he'll impact the world. Jose Alonso, WHAS11 Night Team, on your side.
By the way, we want to let you know the Louisville Archbishop, you saw him right there, will be leading a massive Thanksgiving for Pope Leo XIV this coming Monday at 6 p.m. in the evening, right at the Cathedral of the Assumption in downtown Louisville. Well, we have some new developments to tell you about in the massive protests over expanding pickleball courts in Cryson Park near the Louisville Zoo. A second Metro Council member now telling the developer to take the project somewhere else. As we've reported, Will Davis wants to turn 25 acres into 36 indoor and outdoor tennis courts, 18 pickleball courts, a restaurant, and new parking lots, among other amenities. Highlands Metro Council member Ben Reno Weber tonight sending a statement saying Cryson is not the right place for this dream. Earlier today, Metro Council member representing the district, Josie Raymond, also pushing back against the location, saying in a statement, after Tuesday's meeting where more than 700 people waited in line to not hear a presentation, it is clear to me that Cryson Park is not the place. Mayor Craig Greenberg, by the way, is a strong supporter of the project. His office gave us no comment when we asked for it today.
Bachelor of Science in Organizational Leadership and Learning and a Certificate in Healthcare Leadership.
Brand new tonight, it's a celebration for this year's graduates, members of the class of 2025, celebrating their diversity as they walk across the stage in Louisville this evening. But for some, that stage looks very different now. Kentucky just passed a law ending diversity, equity, and inclusion programming in public universities. So one well-known Louisville professor decided to fight back tonight. WHAS 11 Night Team's Clarice Shaley and photojournalist Aspen Hester show you the ceremony that unified black graduates.
Graduation, a time of celebration for the hard work and development of curious minds.
College is important. This means the world to me.
Graduates of all ages.
This is major. I'm 58 years old, and I wanted to show my grandchildren that I have an education.
But these African American scholars sit down for a ceremony in a much different light and location.
We're here to honor our graduates, no matter how few or how many they may be, because they said it couldn't be done on their campuses.
Organized at St. Stephen's Baptist Church in the California neighborhood, just 2.5 weeks after hearing similar celebrations at the University of Kentucky, the University of Louisville, and Bellarmine University were canceled by the schools.
Political forces in the state say that they're no longer acceptable, that they're divisive, exclusive, even racist.
This graduation celebration has everything a school would offer, but House Bill 4 has dissolved diversity, equity, and inclusion programs in public schools. This has caused a chain reaction of universities stopping sanctioned events like these and cutting DEI programming for the following school year. The students crossing the stage from a collection of schools that called off the special graduations.
I was disappointed. Yes. It was heartbreaking. Yes. Our president made a bad decision.
So they band together to honor their own unique experiences.
We don't have time to be bitter anymore, and we don't have time to continue to beg.
The president of Louisville's HBCU, Simmons College, left graduates with a message in an ever-changing world.
Don't you let anyone steal your identity. Don't let them take what makes you fly. Get what you want, but don't lose what you have.
As they head out to make their impact. In the California neighborhood, Clarice Shaley, WHAS 11 Night Team, on your side.
We contacted the House Republican Whip, Kentucky Representative Jason Nemes, the Republican of Middletown, about the event. He responded by saying, quote, I support their right to do whatever they want as long as it is a private matter, end quote from Jason Nemes tonight. Well, just on I-64 from us in Lexington, the University of Kentucky is one of the major schools stopping their diversity graduations. So instead, students led their own ceremony.
Now, I know that the title says salute, but it is a salute, a celebration. So if they don't hear y'all down the street, y'all not cheering loud enough, okay? All right, we all family here, so we're going to celebrate just like family.
In Lexington, several dozen students adorned in graduation caps and gowns celebrating with friends and family at the Lyric Theater, which is just off the UK campus. Speakers offered words of encouragement to the graduates while steering clear of the fallout over federal and state Republican efforts to end diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. This program was organized by members of the historically black fraternity Alpha Phi Alpha after the university called off celebrations for minority graduates.
With knowledge, knowing that wouldn't have been able to happen anymore, we basically took it upon ourselves, us as a chapter, took it upon ourselves to host a celebration and just highlight students here.
We have made tough decisions that in and of themselves cause concern and in some cases hurt. We have taken that action because we believe that's what is required. And we believe complying with the law is the best way to protect our people and our continued capacity to support them.
Eli Capilouto of UK speaking there, but not every university is trying to fall in line with Donald Trump's orders on DUI. As we learned today, Louisville Presbyterian Theological Seminary just off Lexington Road and Bellarmine University in Louisville are both publicly saying they believe the Trump administration is overstepping. The two private schools joined hundreds of others signing a statement from the American Association of Colleges and Universities. We interviewed Louisville Presbyterian Seminary President Andrew Palmerville today about their pushback.
Our dedication to Black church studies, to some of our womanist studies, to our queer theology. What we do here is important. We don't want to have someone else tell us how to do that or what that looks like.
Federal funding accounts for less than 10% of the seminary's overall budget, so they have more leeway to take a risk compared to some of the major public universities like U of L or UK. Bellarmine's president Susan Donovan also signed that letter, and in a statement, Bellarmine says they must have institutional autonomy to do their jobs effectively. New tonight, last month, Kentucky's Auditor Allison Ball's office launched an investigation into how the state of Kentucky awarded those licenses to growers, processors, and dispensaries across Kentucky for medical marijuana. WHAS11 News caught the eye of the auditor. She told us our original coverage about a local Louisville dispensary admitting to stacking the deck contributed to the reason for the audit. Ball confirmed it won't delay the program's rollout. It's clear to her already, though some businesses violated regulations.
There are no Kentucky farmers who are given a cultivator license. There's just a very small handful of ones who have been given a processor license. Very, very small, like under one hand.
Ball said there is no estimate of when the audit will be finished.